Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of On the Delo, and we are going to talk about why I'd rather stay home. Yes, this is a podcast about not traveling, and again, please don't take this personally if you're listening to this. This is just me being funny, talking about the ins and outs of my life, what I enjoy, what I don't enjoy. Some of this may resonate with you. Some of you just might think I'm fucking crazy and don't want to be married to me because I'm boring, right? Thank God for my wife. Her and I are two peas in a pod. And I'm labeling this podcast, I'd rather stay home. Yes. So before we jump into it, we have our mastermind still going strong with Mr. Jeremy Scott Fitness and myself. Today was a rough one. I'm actually recording today on a Thursday. Usually I'm recording on a Sunday morning, bright and early, like 6 a.m. before MetCon. But today I was running a little bit behind this week due to changing up some things in my life. I'll get into that more so next podcast, but what I'm getting at here is I just finished a book called Essentialism, and I believe the next podcast I'm going to do is on Essentialism. Wow, what a book. Greg McGowan, I believe is his name. It's revolutionized the way that I think and what I do, and at this age, a ripe 51, I am so done being at everybody's beck and call. I am now at the beck and call of the birds in my front yard, and of course my wife and my dogs. Sometimes my kids, depending on what they want. Point being is that I've gone to a new schedule of not checking email except twice a day. I've deleted it off my phone. I mean, lots of crazy good stuff that is helping me relax. Doing meditations during the day, taking little naps during the day. I just feel better, and I feel like I'm getting a lot more accomplished. And when I say a lot more, it's not how much I can do. It's more or less how much can I do, but with purpose, right? With purpose, with conviction, with attention, being in the moment. And I'm finding a lot more of that in my life right now. Anyways, that whole tirade is to just kind of let you know that Sunday I wasn't able to get in here. I ate too much on Saturday and felt like shit, so I slept in Sunday. So I'm recording on a Thursday. Jeremy, God bless him, he put me through what's called the Sled test. It's not a lot of fun. You guys and gals have all seen those sleds that we push back and forth on the green grass, the turf. And he gives me 3 minutes to go however many yards that I can go. It doesn't seem like a big task. Again, I'm kind of like trying to clear my throat a lot because I'm still dying a little bit inside. But I'm a 51-year-old man. I have no business pushing a sled as fast as possible up and down a turf. No business, right? But, of course, I do it. And, of course, when Jeremy tells me not to be a pussy, I have to do it, and I have to do it harder. So good news is I survived. Better news is I made the board. I'm right below Jeremy. Not anywhere near him, but I'm right below him. And it's a sweet victory for a Thursday. It's kind of like a Rocky Balboa training montage. And then after that, I had to train, and I barely had any oxygen left in my muscles. So here we are, Thursday. We're getting it done before we have some meetings in-house here, insurance meetings with insurance people. Yay, fun. All right, I'd rather stay home. What does this mean? Why am I having a podcast about this? You know, my wife and I, we always laugh about how we never go anywhere. We never do anything. We used to be a lot of fun. Back in the day, we actually flew to Chicago together to go run a race, the Rock and Roll Marathon. And we both did the half marathon. It was hot as balls. I thought we were both going to die of heat exhaustion. They actually had like these big air-conditioned, ambulances all over the race course. And we were younger in our lives, but young in our relationship, and didn't really have the established, let's just say, nuances about each other and what was, what we really liked or didn't like. And I got to tell you, like a decade will take a toll on you to where you get to a point where you just don't want to do anything other than just kind of not go anywhere, right? There's just so much that goes with traveling right now. So we're in Chicago, and we get there. first of all, we land, we get in an Uber, and Pearl Jam, Jay-Z, the Cubs, all going on at the same time. It's a crazy day. I don't know any of this, right? We're talking 10 years ago. I didn't know what was going on. And then, of course, the race is there, too. People are coming in for the race. So at the time, Uber, and I haven't taken an Uber in probably 5 years. At the time, Uber had this thing called surcharging. I didn't realize what it was. That day was like the day of the 50 times surcharge. So we land, we get there. And again, I'm not as rich as I am now, right? You know, every penny counts. I'm trying to get a nice hotel, trying to impress this girl who's now my wife, you know, just a lot of things. And I'm not kidding you guys. I think for maybe like a 10-mile ride, it was $300. I about shit myself. I was like, okay. So that was the beginning of the trip. We get there, we walk up, and we go to check into our room. Albeit I had an old high school buddy hook me up. If you see this on TV, these are parentheses with my fingers. Hook us up. And I get there, and they're like, oh, yes, Mr. DeLorenzo, your room at the Waves Center Suite is available for you on the 3rd floor. So I'm like, okay, cool. This sounds pretty cool, right? I'm thinking I'm all suave. So we get up there, we open the door, and lo and behold, we are inside a conference room. Yes, you heard me correct. It is a conference room. There was basically a beautiful view of the roof, and there were basically, let's just say, these roll-out beds that they rolled out with. Actually, no, there weren't roll-out beds. I should post pictures on this. There was mattresses that they brought in and put on the floor for us. Yes, it was very nice. So we had mattresses on the floor. At the time, I didn't know where the phone was, and I looked over, and the phone was actually on the wall, okay? And I was just utterly confused. I was like, this can't be the right room. Like, what? I mean, albeit the room was huge, don't get me wrong, but they had Starbucks cups stored in the bathroom. And I'm not talking like one sleeve of cups. I'm talking like boxes of Starbucks cups, like this was a convention center where they roll out the tables and, you know, you would sit there, see a presentation, and then you would leave. Well, we were sleeping in this room. I guess the hotel was overly booked, and the favor that my friend did for me, maybe his pool wasn't that much. So they're like, oh, we'll just stick them in this conference room. Cool. So the beds that they had rolled out, oh no, the mattress fell on the floor. Yeah, the beds had like these straps on them that it was absolutely insane. I still laugh about it to this day, and I know my wife will laugh when she sees this. So I go downstairs with my girlfriend at the time, and I go downstairs and I'm like, excuse me, we're in the wave room? And they're like, yes. Really? The guy was kind of bedazzled or puzzled by my words of where we were at. And I said, yeah, it's a conference room. Like, I don't, like, this is not a hotel room. It's not very romantic. It's not very nice. It's a conference room, dude. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Let me give you a few vouchers for room service. I said, bro, room service? I don't even have a table in my fucking room to eat. What good is room service? You want me to eat on the floor and have room service? Oh, okay. Well, here's some coupons to our restaurant, you know, over here. It was a whole thing. That being said, I don't really remember what happened other than the fact that we slept in the conference room because there were no other rooms left. So that was our first travel together. And after that, we've never gone anywhere. No, I'm kidding. We did have some fun times. We did go to San Francisco. We were, during Fleet Week, we were at Alcatraz to watch the jets fly over, brought one of the kids. We've gone to New York a couple times, got married out in New York. We've been to Austin, obviously, several times. Austin's really the only place that I go year in and year out to go visit my mom. And Kim will come with me once a year. I'll go out twice a year. And where else have we traveled to? Oh, honey, you're going to kill me. Oh, we went to Santa Fe. That was fun. We've been to California. We drive out there multiple times. stay in the hotel, do the beat, all that sort of stuff. But now it's just gotten to a point now where I'd rather stay home. And so would my wife. So we've invested all of this money into our backyard, our front yard. We bought a tiny home, as you all know. My wife will be in here in May, actually, and we're going to talk a little bit about the developments of the tiny home and some other things that she wants to talk about. Set the record straight, right? So we have all of these assets and all of these things that are right here, driving distance, walking distance from each other. And we enjoy it. We really love Arizona. We really love our things. We really love our habits. Again, it comes down to a very habitual sort of lifestyle. And for me to not sleep in my own bed, to be away from my dogs, to not have the foods that I'm used to having, at this point in my life, it's not worth it. I see these people, and again, I would love to go to Egypt. I really would. I don't want to travel there. Does that make any sense? Is that, I understand you have to sacrifice one for the other, and some of this shit doesn't bother anybody. And you know what? Kudos to you. That's your thing. That's awesome. But I hear about people going to these foreign countries, getting diarrhea, having to sit on a plane for 500 hours. I hate flying, first of all. That's just another thing. I don't know who really loves flying, right? It's just a tube up in the air with jets on it. And you got to sit there next to, very close to people that you don't know that, I don't know, just, they may not, again, everybody's so distracted. It's all these things. A lot of people just, they're doing their thing. I get it, but man, gross, right? So I want to go to Egypt. So guess what? I lay on my couch. I've got this really cool Discovery Channel, and I go to Egypt. It's great. And I can get up and I can pause my trip to Egypt and I can go take a piss, right? I can make myself a little charcuterie board, and I know that I'm not going to get worms. And I can eat that charcuterie board, feel good about myself, and guess what? I have these two amazing furry beasts that I know are not going to rip my limbs off. They may lick my face off, and then they cuddle next to me, and they take naps. And while I'm in Egypt, I'm literally on this couch-a-van, right? And I'm laying there, and I'm feeling so good about this trip. And sometimes I'll go in and out of consciousness, and I wake up and I'm still in Egypt. And then I'm good, right? I'm good. And then I'm back in my house. It's amazing. I didn't have to spend any money other than the $6.99 for Discovery Channel. Got to use my own bathroom. I don't have dysentery. It's amazing. I got my pets, and I really enjoy that sort of traveling. I do a lot of traveling through meditation now, once a day, 20 minutes right now, 15, 20 minutes. I can go places where nobody else can go. Trust me, you do not go here, right? You might go to some aspects of where I go to, but it's absolutely a wonderful thing. So when I look at a lot of these people out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know. I get it. I'm an extremist when it comes to this sort of thing. And so when you hear this, you're like probably shaking your head like, DeLorenzo, stop being such a wuss. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're right. Whatever. This is me. This is my prerogative. Some people, and some of you listening to this that don't like to travel, maybe this will absolutely resonate with you, I'm trying to just kind of get a laugh out of the situation, but this is a true reality. I'm being dead fucking serious. I do not want to travel. So obviously I own an insurance agency. We do well. Like, we write a lot of business. I've built up a business over 20 something years. I can win anywhere from 1 to 3 trips a year. There are contests, how much business you write, this and that. For whatever reason, these insurance companies love to give away these trips. And I'm pretty sure it's for like the tax write-off, right? It's like, we gotta do something. We'll do something for our agents. I've won a trip, let's see, Toronto, San Diego, no big deal, Costa Rica, I think Florida Keys, and I don't know, a whole bunch of others. That being said, again, I've declined all of them. I'm like, can you just give me some money? I'm going to save you thousands of dollars not having me there. Just give me the money, right? Here's the other thing. These trips that these carriers, these insurance carriers do, which are totally overly inflated with activities I don't want to do. I don't want to do it with other insurance people. Sorry, call me a dick. I just dude, if I wanted to hang out with you, I'd hang out with you here, right? I want to hang out with my wife. I want to hang out with my really close friends. I'm old. Time is of the essence. I don't want to go out somewhere for 3-4 days to hang out with a bunch of people that are doing the same thing that I do, right? And then the food and drink is just diabolical. How much alcohol can we feed these people? Because that's what everybody loves, right? How many late night activities? Folks, I go to bed at 8. I am not leaving the house after 5. That's just a non-negotiable at this point, other than the fact of things that I really want to do, or if somebody has a special event that is important for me to be there, I will do it. But not in some foreign territory, whether it be the United States or elsewhere. Oh, my wife and I, we did go to Mexico too. That was fun. A little sketch, but fun. That was a while ago. And then it's all, then the food. Sorry. I just that food. And no, I'm not better than you. Oh, Delo, you're. No, dude, dudettes, I'm totally into food. Don't get me wrong. I've done it. I know what I need to eat and what I don't need to eat in order to feel good. And that's all that I am going for at this age, is to feel good, is to wake up every single day and feel good, except after I have fatter day, which I'm trying to dial that down too because of my type A personality. It's tough to really, dial things down when you've made a decision to go all in, right? I think that's with a lot of us that have this personality. So these company trips to me are just a waste of their money. I get it. Maybe it's camaraderie. It's things that the companies want to do and be nice. I'm like, just give me the money. I just don't want to go on your trips. And then you go to these hotels, right? And the hotel business is beautiful. I think it's wonderful. We need it. A lot of people love it. But holy shit, it's like fee, right? It's $100 to park now. It's, $30 for a cup of coffee. It's everything piled on top of everything. And yeah, I have the money to pay for all this, but I just don't want to. I don't see the value in it for me anymore because I love my own coffee at my house. I can park in my driveway, right? I can sleep in my own bed. I can go out and enjoy the garden that I've invested money in and the ficus and the little birds and the bird fountain. And it's like being at the Four Seasons. I'm telling y'all, it's really nice by design, right? Because I just want to walk out my back door with my own coffee, my own animals, my own birds, and hang out and feel good. It's just one of those things. My gym, holy cow, my gym's got everything that I need. It's in my garage. It's there. It's waiting for me. I've got mountains around me. I can go hiking up mountains. And if I want to travel, right, get a different scene, I can drive 3 hours to a second house we have, the tiny home, right? And I can relax up there. And it doesn't cost me $27 for an airport salad, right? That is probably non-organic and we'll get the job done. But again, you off track. I just, everything to me is so habitual and, it's about being on track at this point. I do want to talk about Airbnb, right? What a fad that is or has been or this and that. So we've stayed in them. We've left them early. I fucking hate them. I think Airbnbs are like the biggest colossal shame of anything. Now, look, you have a big family. You're looking to save money. You're looking to get, in a location. I totally fine. Do your thing, right? For me, never again. I will never stay in an Airbnb. I don't want to cook on your Teflon pans with your plastic bullshit scoopers, with your dirty glasses. God only knows what creeper vision is in there. I'm just not an Airbnb fan. I just don't like it. No, sheets. I remember when we remodeled our home kitchen, I had to stay in an Airbnb down the road, and it was pretty much our only option. It was a lot cheaper than obviously buying a hotel, and it was fine. You know, it wasn't it just is what, you know, we had to do it. So I'm in the kids' room of the Airbnb, and I'm sleeping on like Charlie Choo Choo sheets that probably had more semen stains in them than you could ever imagine for, you know, whatever little boys do. Because I remember when I was a little boy, and I just cringed at the fact that I had to stay in this room in this place. Finally, you know, obviously you get over it after time, but I just don't want to go do that anymore. I just don't. So really, when I look at my house and I look at the sanctuary that my wife and I have created, those are our dreams, our goals, our aspirations. Every detail that my wife puts into our house is so delicate. It is so nuanced. It is so wonderful, right? Everything from the home goods rabbits that sit in the backyard, they get delivered by Amazon, to the types of flowers and cactuses and where they're placed and how they're placed, right? To the amount of blocks on the wall to block the view of any other human being or coyote that might be peering in. Every detail. The shed, the color of the shed that we have back there. Yes, sheds are for storage, but not just storage at our house. They're for visualization aesthetically in a backyard, right? So we love all that, and we've built all that together over the decade and dreamed it all together and watched the transition of old yard, new yard. And it's fun. Sometimes my wife will send me pictures of all the different phases of things. Everything from remember this plant, remember that tree, remember this and that. And no, I don't remember shit, but what I do remember is how much money we've spent to have this wonderful place. No, I'm kidding. Look, we had a pool, right? We had a pool. Here's another thing people are going to rip on me for. Oh, well, if you don't go on vacation, at least you have a pool in Arizona to swim in. Yeah, you know what we did? We buried that fucking pool. Like, I couldn't bury it quick enough. I wanted to bury it years ago. My wife's like, no, it's a cool water feature. Now that it's buried, she's like the #1 fan of buried pool. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe we had that pool. Not only is it a savings of money, right? Thousands of dollars a year. It's just it was like a 1990s pool with these big rocks and waterfalls and all this other stuff in it that it didn't make sense to keep, and it wasn't giving us the enjoyment that we thought, you know, it should have been giving us. So we're right now as we speak, there's gentlemen in my backyard, lovely gentlemen. I love them. They are working their ass off to put in some fake grass. We've got plants going in, gravel. I never thought as an old man, or I never thought as a young man, that I would be so excited about the word gravel and fake grass. But my goodness, that makes a backyard so beautiful. It really does. If you're listening to this, check out my Instagram. You'll see many photos and videos of the backyard and the transition of it and all the things that go on. So, you know, the thing is like, when Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz said, there's no place like home, there's no place like home, she was absolutely fucking right. There's no place like home. And when I wake up in the morning, albeit it's 3:30 in the morning usually, I know I can count on that coffee machine to make me the most badass cup of coffee. I can sit in my comfortable bed with my warm animals cuddled up next to me. I know where my book is. I turn on my little reading light. I read till the sun comes up. I go walk the neighborhood that I'm familiar with, that I know what's going on, get my steps in with my beautiful dogs. Sometimes I'll walk up the mountain, do a meditation. I know where I got to go hunt for my food. That's right. As a hunter of food, we know where Whole Foods is at all times. Although it did just move, but we knew it was moving. We know where Sprouts is. We know where Trader Joe's is. We know what's in those stores. We know how much it costs, usually. We go there with pride. We know where our massage guy is. I call him Massage Tom because I don't really know his name, but he's in the mall and he does a great fucking job. And he might not be the same guy every time, but he's still Tom to me. We know where our other little hangout spots are. I know where the sun's going to set, where the sun's going to rise. I know where the birds are going to give birth to the little birds around. So think about this in context with where you live, and think about all the little things that you may or may not take for granted, but maybe take inventory of what it is that you are so appreciative of. Maybe take inventory of how much time you are taking to sit and acknowledge and take in the scenes, the sights, and the smells of what's around you, the smells of the blossoming cactus flower, right? We have this huge cactus in our front yard. I forget what it's called, but it's got those real beautiful flowers that blossom out like once a year, and so many people will take pictures of it, and it's really cool. I want to start charging them. But if we just take inventory of what we have around us and are appreciative for that, there's no need to travel. There's no need to go to hotels. No, don't do it. No, I'm kidding. But if you, and a cruise, forget that. Like, who goes on a boat, right? Who goes on a big tin fucking can out in the middle of, I don't know, the abyss, right? The ocean is way bigger than the rest of the world. And you're going to go on a tin can to go ride in the ocean? Like, I don't know. I mean, can't they just build a cruise ship on land and you can go party on that thing? Like, what is the enjoyment of, like, staring out into the abyss of water, knowing that at any minute you can hit an iceberg and drown? I just, not doing it, man. No. And all the food we can eat, right? I mean, and these rooms are no bigger than my podcast room. So literally, you got to take a shit while your other counterpart is like listening to you like loud and clear. They hear the noise. I don't know. Call me negative Nelly when it comes to traveling, and you would be right. But I'd never been on a cruise, never will be on a cruise. And all of you cruise lovers, I'm sure you're telling me, oh, it's so good. It's so fun. It's so freeing. That's awesome. Look, I'm boring. I'm old. I don't want to party anymore. I want to go to bed at, I think last night I went to bed at 7:15. It's bad, man. But I will tell you this, I do love life and I do love what I do love. And I think that's great about all of you listening, that you love what you love. And that's what's right for you. And this is what's right for me, right? So we're all right. It's all good stuff. That is what I wanted to talk about with traveling and staying home, and just kind of understanding the importance of being in the environment and being in the moment of what's going on. And that will lend into the next podcast that I have down the road about doing what's essential and how that's helped me be in the present moment. So I want to thank you for listening. I hope you got some humor out of this. Do know that, look, if you travel, I think you're awesome. You got a lot more, oomph than I do, probably a lot more zest for that sort of thing. And respect, right? And if you like to stay home, maybe we can start a stay home club and, share book stories or something, or knitting or something like that, right? I also like to play guitar at home a lot. You can't bring my guitar traveling, right? Well, you could, but it just depends where you go. Please follow me on Instagram, follow me on LinkedIn, reach out if you're interested in the Built Different Mastermind. Always here to put some sort of authentic new spin on things for you so that you can open your mind out in ways that you never thought maybe were possible, or, just kind of inventing yourself in a new way like I've done with my niche and my brand and all that. And I enjoy it very much. And I love life and have a passion for living as long as I don't have to travel. So subscribe to the podcast, please. Please 5-star it, share it with a friend. Have a wonderful day. And until next time, peace out.